Great catching up with my next guest. He's going to be back in action. UFC Fight Night, July 15th, taking on Alex Munoz. It is Carl Deaton back here on the program. Carl, how are you, man?
Man, everything's good, man. Appreciate you, James.
Appreciate you. When did you find out about this fight? It looked like you got a full camp.
Yeah. I'll say like a total of 10 weeks, a few weeks ago, and that's good. I like it.
No, it's nice to get all that. And, we haven't done an interview since your fight before the UFC with Justin James. I know since then you've got new management. You're with Ruby Sports. How did that all come together?
Good timing. Just in the right place at the right time, and, had a good conversation, and then, signed my life.
Yeah, and it worked out, man. You're in the UFC. Obviously, that stuff really does help. What did you learn the most from that UFC debut? I know not ideal circumstances with how, you sort of came in there and everything, but I'm sure you learned a lot from that you're going to bring into this fight.
Yeah, I belong there. I belong at the top. And, your shit stinks too. So, no matter what happens in this game, know who you are and, keep drilling, keep moving, keep working hard, and keep fighting.
What did that feel like, though? Like you said, you didn't get the result you wanted, but like you said, you felt you belonged in there just to get that validation of knowing like you can hang with, fighters in the top organization in the world. What did that mean to you? Just because I know you've been putting a lot of work into this.
Oh, everything, that for sure sincere of accomplishment of, you made it to this level. Now it's time to win at this level, and showing what you did, live action, showing that first round to defend, and coming in against Joe Selecki, and, hats off to him in the second. So, just, it feels good, man. I can't wait to run it back now on a terms of, man, this is a fight camp. This is same weight, same song and dance, and let's go do it again.
Yeah, and a good opponent here in Alex Munoz, 6-2 record. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Very well. Southpaw wrestler, whatever he is, athletic. But, I feel like going into this fight, I feel like I have the answers for this. I feel like my power, the speed, and just the movement and grooving, I feel like he doesn't have that, and I'm going to be able to expose that and be the very best Carl Deaton come July 15th.
And we talked about that just a second ago about, you earned this spot in the UFC. You put in the reps on the regional scene. You've got a lot more fights than your opponent does. How much do you think that experience will benefit you in this matchup, just because you've seen every opponent, every situation in your career?
Very. And, I've set up more cages and taken down more cages than this man has fights. So the experience, bar none, I'm excited to let him fly.
That's excellent. Training camp, where are you training right now? Who've been some of the main guys helping you get ready for this one?
I'm training in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, at the academy under Greg Nelson. And today it was, I had all my rounds. Today was sparring, so I did all my rounds with Mike Richmond.
Oh, of course, the Marine. Yeah, great.
Marine, right. So, locked and loaded.
Yeah. How good of a coach is Greg Nelson? I don't think he gets enough credit. He works with a lot of different fighters, and, you hear some of these, coaches that get a lot of recognition and stuff, but Greg's been doing it for a long time. He's worked with a number of high-level fighters, including yourself. Just how good of a coach is Greg, and how much have you learned from him?
A lot. Greg Nelson's, so I started in Michigan, and where I was from, there's no high-level coaching. It's a bunch of Midwest guys getting together, throwing down in wrestling rooms or wherever we could, rent a space out. So, and then that was at 18, freshly in the game of beyond wrestling, moving to Minnesota. Greg Nelson was the first, teacher, trainer, coach, whatever you call them, to show me how to throw a correct elbow and defend a correct elbow. So, the man's knowledgeable in the game, hands down, whatever you take it to. And, I'm very fortunate to be around it and keep soaking it up. And I've been here before, and, on the same song and dance, this game as it elevates and gets better, but, the basics are always there, and you can't shy away from those. And, his style and my style blending now more than ever as I'm more, mature in the game. So we'll see come fucking July 15th, man. I'm excited, brother. I'm excited to let it fucking fly.
I can tell, man. I love the energy, man. That's great. How did you initially link up with Greg Nelson? What was the connection there?
Just send a phone call, send a smoke signal. Hey, man, the opportunity, the UFC, would you want to corner me? Would you want to coach me? Would you want to, take it up another notch? Come in, have a conversation. Yeah, cool. See you tomorrow.
There you go. How long have you been back? Because I believe last time we did our interview, you were in Vegas, I think.
You're right. I would say I've been here total 3 months, give or take a couple.
Gotcha. That's good. Kind of miss the winter a bit, right? Because I know it gets pretty cold in Minnesota during the time of the year, which isn't a bad thing. I'm a firm believer, as someone who's lived out east as well, that like the winter makes you tougher for sure. Because it's a much harder to, turn that car on in the morning or go for a run when it's really cold outside, right?
You're a smart man, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I know the weather there, I'm sure, is doing great now. How about the weight cut? I know you always make weight, but I got to ask anyway. We got plenty of time. Everything on point for you?
Definitely, man. Body's firing. I walked out of the room on the scale at 175, 5 weeks. I don't really want to get too much lower yet, but we'll see. I'm gonna go on feeling good. Nutrition's up, the water's up, the sleep's good, the rounds are good, the learning's good right now. So I'm really not trying to fuck with too much shit. Let's keep it going. And then as we get close to the fight, I have sent out a couple texts to the PI. They handled my weight cut last time, and same song and dance. So let's do it again, and we'll see what happens.
Nice to get those free meals as well from the UFC, which is good. And I know they hook it up pretty well there. So I assume Greg will be at the fight with you as far as your corner. Do you know who else will be making the trip with you?
Oh, my father, Greg, and my dad.
Oh, awesome. That's awesome. So I'm like having two dads in your corner, right? Because Greg, I know, is kind of like that figure to a lot of people.
He is, but James, I grew up with a father. I never wanted another father, and some of these men, they don't have that, and I understand that, right? But I never looked at Greg. I never looked at these coaches as a father figure. It was always a high level of respect of a knowledge giver, and more like a sensei. Like I understand who you are, and this is who I am. But I came from a father's love. I have a mother's love, and my dad is one of the best dads in the world to me. So I never really wanted to give that title to anyone else. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, if he's had to do that, he's definitely the man to do that. His heart is right there and his knowledge is right there. So I respect him nonetheless, even in his own family, let alone in the gym family.
That's great. Well said, man. You doing anything with your dad on Father's Day? It's coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a call and tell him I'm ready to go. I'll probably give him some of the bonus money after we smash Alex in,
There you go. I like it. That's great. And what's your prediction? How do you see this one going down on July 15th?
Oh, definitely my favorite. I want to get him out of there as quickly as possible, man. If it has to go 3, he's going to be bleeding.
Love it. Yeah, you don't get paid by the hour, man. So you might as well go in there and get out as quickly as you can. I don't blame you. And is it the plan to get, maybe 1-2 more fights in this year? I know a lot of you guys want to keep active. You get more paychecks that way, right?
Give me this one. Give me the winner of the BMF title right after it.
There you go. You'll fight anyone. I love it. I think, yeah, it's what do you think of that whole thing that they brought the BMF title back? They're bringing it to life after, Masvidal had just the one fight there with Nate Diaz.
I love it. Look at the people that are fighting for it. High level, real dogs, So that's a real title to me. That's a real round. Those are some real rounds, and that's real money on the line. So, I need that.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Speaking of your division, we just had a big fight last weekend. Charles Oliveira, Beneil Dariush. Oliveira looking great in that one, getting the first round finish. What did you think of his performance?
Oh, right on. When you can finish, and especially like that in the first round, man, that's what you want to do. That's what I want to do in this game.
Mm-hmm. Do you look at him too, like, someone who, like yourself, put in the time, put in the work? And I know Charles, it didn't start off great for him, right? Like there's a lot of people counting him out, and here he is turning his career around, becoming champion. And then, coming off that tough loss with Islam, he puts on a performance like last Saturday. That's got to be something you're paying attention to.
Definitely. Anything's possible in this game. And it just goes to show you when he's still training hard. That's what he got up there, he was at the top, and then he dethroned, and he's still getting after it. So, and then he's still hungry. So as we all are.
Yeah, it's great, man. Okay, before we get out of here, we talked all about fighting and training and all that stuff. Downtime. I know you probably don't get much of it because you're in the gym all the time, but you getting outdoors at all? I know Minnesota this time of year, probably pretty nice. What have you been up to when you're getting that little bit of free time?
Man, definitely enjoying the outdoors. They got some cool hikes over here, the lakes, land of 10,000 lakes. So getting my line's wet, fishing.
Oh, fishing. Nice. Okay. That's good. Getting some time in, I guess, which is nice. A lot of fighters fish. And I think that's so great because, think of all the stuff we're surrounded by, as far as being stimulated, our phones, all this stuff. And I'm sure you go to the lake and it's a nice way to decompress, right?
Definitely, even you can take your phone, whatever. But at the end of the day, just me, myself, I grew up in the country, so I like being outside.
Oh, this was awesome, man. Really appreciate the time. We're looking forward to it. It's UFC Fight Night, July 15th. If there's anyone you'd like to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
I appreciate it, man. Thank the UFC. Thank my management, Ruby, everyone in there, the gym, the academy. Man, thank you, James, for having me on. And everybody back home in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, supporting the Anishinaabe Kids, CD3, BC Organics, Garden of Life. Man, you guys are awesome, man. The Apex, man, Vegas, you're a king. I'll see you guys soon.